Okay, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to BWTM Sports Gaming. This is a member special. So if you're a member in the house of BWTM Sports, come in the room and you can drop your comments. So I have with me Uncle James Ali Bashir in the house. Uncle, let's get you straight into things. How you doing?
Everything is all right.
Fantastic. So we're going to talk about the press conference. What's your take on the press conference between
I didn't see the press conference. I did not see the press conference. No, I didn't.
Did you hear anything about the press conference?
No. I haven't heard anything.
Okay.
I haven't seen
So some of the highlights from the press conference. One of the highlight points for me was Malik Scott when he very openly spoke about what the training was about. He explained that.
Wait a minute. Your frequency is going in and out.
Is it? Let's see. How's that? Can you hear me now? Is that clearer?
I can hear you. It was interrupted briefly.
Let me see if I can fix that. Make sure we don't have any interruptions tonight.
Okay, get back over there with the left. The last time we spoke, it was very good.
How's this now? Any good? Or we still having interruptions?
It sounds pretty good right now. I'll let you know.
Okay, cool. So Malik Scott was talking. He was asked about Deontay Wilder learning new skills, and Malik Scott kind of
no. It's like something that's loose on your end.
Static or headphones. How's this? Is this any better?
I can't tell until you talk.
How's this?
Go ahead, continue to talk.
Okay, so Malik Scott was talking about training, and he was saying that it wasn't about him adding things to Deontay Wilder, but more of a case of Deontay Wilder having those skill set and him bringing it out of Deontay Wilder. It's all in the locker room, rather than a case. And he was saying that this is not just synchronized pad work, but this is something that's a lot deeper than that. This is something that's been practiced over and over again. So it's like a part of Deontay's soul, as opposed to it being just some flash in the pan pad work. And the way he was saying that, it seemed like he was making it very clear to Tyson Fury and Sugar Hill Stewart that Deontay Wilder is a completely remodeled fighter. Your thoughts on that?
Well, at this stage in Deontay Wilder's career, I don't believe that you can make him anything more than what he has been over the past 40 to 40 fights. I think that if I was the trainer for Deontay Wilder, I would just concentrate on how to behind the left jab and try to land the right hand. That's been his bread and butter all the time. And when you get 34, 35 years old, it's very difficult to teach a guy that's had his whole career predicated on the power of his right hand, and then at the last part of it is to teach him something different. Again, you won't be able to tell how much he's absorbed from Malik Scott till they're under the big lights.
All right, let me throw this at you. I will bring to you Lennox Claudius Lewis, and before he got with Emmanuel Stewart, he was heavily reliant on his right hand, and then got knocked out by Oliver McCall. And then they say as heavyweights get older, they mature and they become better fighters as they age. So, is that true? If so, then it's a contradiction. And if not, then Wilder's in trouble.
Again, I think that everything is predicated on Deontay Wilder's right hand. You can take too far away from that, You know, I would just, like I said, I would try to improve, if any, the left jab, the left hook, and try to land the right hand. But I wouldn't try to take him too far down the road, you know, trying to get him to do body punching and things like that. I really feel, I don't know as a fact, but I feel that it's too late in the day to try to teach him all of these new things. This is a big fight, and he did it right, you know. So I wouldn't take him too far away. You know, try to be successful landing the left jab, an occasional left hook, and then that big right hand. Try to walk Tyson Fury into the right hand, get some strides.
Okay. Now there's a story going around that Tyson Fury is north of 290 pounds.
290 pounds?
Yes. He's 290 that way.
You know, my thinking is that that's bad if he hasn't trained and boxed like that throughout the training. But on the other hand, if he's trained and worked the rounds through the camp like that there, then it's good. He's 6'9", so he shouldn't.
Go ahead.
He's 6'9", and I don't think that is gonna been boxing like that. If he's been hitting the bag like that there, you know, skipping the rope like that there, it's not bad if he's worked throughout the camp. If he hasn't, then it's a detriment. You know, he's gonna get tired inside of 3, maybe 5 rounds, if that.
Is it a gamble? Because I think the only way Fury's gonna fight Wilder is what he learned from the first fight, which is take the fight to Deontay Wilder and force him back and see whether Malik Scott and Wilder have made any changes. And if so, shut that down straight away by just putting pressure on Wilder. So he has to focus on keeping Fury off of him.
I think it's a good plan to try to push Deontay Wilder back. The thing is, if Malik Scott has trained a fight backing up, as opposed to going directly back, has he trained to back up punching? As I always said, you know, throw punches when you're backing up. You know, to move side to side backing up, but don't back straight up, because that's not a good idea. I would think that Malik Scott has worked with Deontay backing up, because the second fight they had was very effective coming forward, and Deontay seemed to be tangled up. His feet seemed to be tangled up when he's backing up. So perhaps Malik has worked on Deontay's movement backing up and throwing punches backing up. Hey, what choice? If a big guy, you got a big guy that's coming forward like a steamboat. So back up, yield. But when you do it, throw punches. I mean, lottery, you got to be in it to win it. You don't throw punches, ain't not going. You don't know what's going to happen if you're throwing punches, 3s and 4s at a time. You're throwing punches constantly. You don't know what's going to happen. But I know that Tyson is well aware of Deontay Wilder's right hand, and he's going to do all that he can to take away.
Now, Tyson's talked about if Deontay gets hit on the chin, he's going to revert to what he's done before. But actually, looking at Tyson Fury's career, when he gets hit on the chin, he reverts back to what he's always done, which is he stops all the boxing, he starts sprawling.
Wait a minute. What you saying?
I said Tyson's always saying that when Deontay gets hit on the chin, he's going to go back to what he used to do. And I've said that watching Tyson Fury fight, when he gets hurt or he gets dropped, he puts his guard up and marches forward and turns it into a dogfight. So if anyone's going to revert to type, it's going to be Tyson Fury.
And you can't tell until they're under those lights. You know, I don't want to make an assessment and this come and these people do the total opposite. But Tyson's going to try to take away Deontay's power by backing him up. No, he's going to try to. Oh yeah, he's going to throw the right hand. But I think he's going to try to nullify Deontay's power by stepping to him, forcing him to back
stepping
up.
through it. Yes. So he can't. So step two. So he can't get leverage.
So he can't
right
get. So he can't still get leverage, but not the not the one not the kind of he needs to put Tyson down on his behind. You know, I think that Tyson Fury is going to step to him back, and try to get Deontay to throw him moving. You know, while he's moving back.
What happens? I see this kind of like a Hagler-Hearns type of battle of wills. Kind of Tyson coming forward like Hagler, and Hearns being the skinnier, taller, longer, trying to throw. Apart from Tyson being the taller guy in this fight, I see Wilder not giving ground and coming to Fury, and Fury coming to Wilder, and they're both of them having a shootout. I don't see either guy backing up.
I think that one, if not both of them, will back. Right punches are delivered. If either one of them gets hit right, they will back up. It's human nature not to hurt. So if it lands one of those bombs, Tyson will back up. And if Tyson lands anything that can jaw Deontay up, he'll up. It's just common sense. The nature will take over in the fight.
But he looked at great fights. Bo Holyfield, Barrera Morales, you know, big fights. Bo Holyfield won, where the two guys just went completely at it. And when one got hurt, the other one attacked the other. Is it that kind of a fight? Because I think it's going to end up being a fight like that.
I think that Deontay Wilder has to short circuit whatever Tyson Fury is going to do. Deontay Wilder has got to nullify what Tyson wants to do. You know, he's got to land some punches early to threaten Tyson Fury. If he can land punches early, you know, right hand anywhere. You know, and hopefully he's worked on the left hook, you know, because it wouldn't be bad that if he had a left hand. That way he can threaten Tyson to get some stability on what he wants to do. But if he doesn't do it, if he doesn't throw his punches, it's going to be a walkover.
Okay, Lev Gravison asked the question. He asked the question. Lev asked, does Deontay Wilder only have a puncher's chance?
Again, the voice messed up. Say it again.
Lev asked, does Deontay Wilder only have a puncher's chance?
Next, Malik Scott has made some drastic changes in Deontay Wilder's arsenal. But right now, puncher's chance is what he has.
Okay. How imperative is it for Deontay Wilder to hurt Tyson Fury in the first round in terms of for his confidence and to make Tyson understand that he's not a broken man?
Say that again.
How imperative is it for Deontay Wilder to land early on Tyson to let him know he's not a broken man and he's full of confidence and he's coming to win the belt back?
Yes, I think that's very imperative. Keep those punches early. Anywhere. He's got to send a message to Tyson Fury in the very first seconds. He's got to hit something, to make Deontay Wilder understand that, whoa, this could be dangerous for me. Got to approach with caution, as though I was in a minefield. You understand? Anybody with a minefield is going to walk through that minefield cautiously into any mines that might be there. So, yeah, I think it's very imperative that he lands punches early.
Do you
That's
think
what's so
the
intriguing
box?
about the fight.
Yes. Do you think the boxing media have underestimated Deontay Wilder?
Say again.
Do you think the boxing media have underestimated Deontay Wilder?
I don't pay much attention to that because nobody knows what's going to happen at the rings. They can say yay or they can say nay. They can't believe it. They don't have to believe it. I think that Deontay is going to be there. I think that Tyson. I guess the biggest surprise is that each one of them underestimates the other. But I think both guys are coming to fight.
Lev asked the question, is there a bout in boxing history that mirrors the third bout between Fury and Wilder?
Do I think this bout will do it? I think this fight will.
Yeah. Is there a fight? Is there a fight in boxing history that mirrors Wilder Fury 3?
Yeah, I'm sure it is. I just can't think of it right off the top of my head, but I'm sure that they would mirror that.
Really?
I can't think of which one.
Well, there's never been a fight in boxing history that's been affected by COVID and a pandemic, has there? And then a fight that they've signed there's signed a trilogy, and then the guys didn't want to fight. Then there was the guy being forced to come back and fight via the courts. Then there was COVID.
Check your phone. This is broken again.
I wonder why that is. Can you hear that? Is that clearer?
Yes,
is that clear? Is that clearer?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, this fight is. Yeah, this fight. Let's try this. Is this better?
It's like a wire or something is loose.
Let's see. Okay, can you hear me now? Is that any good?
Yeah.
Right now, I was saying this fight is unique because there's been never a fight, I think, in boxing history that's been affected by a pandemic, a trilogy, one guy walking away from a fight but having to force to fight because
no. Why don't you hang up and come back to me?
What's that?
Why don't you hang up and come back to me?
Let me try this. Is this any better for you?
Okay.
Does this sound any better? We're speaking directly into the microphone.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm saying this fight is unique because it has been affected by COVID. You've had it affected because of the pandemic. So there's been that delay. Then the COVID that Fury had. Then the fact that Fury didn't really want to fight Wilder.
No. It's not working. It's not working. The audio is really.
Don't know why that would be the case.
The talk was beautiful because we had no interruptions at all. But right here, right now, it's very bad.
Let me try. Just stay there, Uncle. Let me try. Okay, is this any good? Any better?
So far, sounds good.
Yeah, so the bout being different or being unique in boxing because of the COVID and the delays and the court, and Fury not wanting to fight Wilder for a third time and being forced to fight. So this fight is probably unique in boxing history, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I would think so. I would think so.
How do you think that affects Fury, who hasn't fought for so long, and Wilder, who hasn't fought for so long?
You know, Fury's the kind of guy, he gets into it with partners, so I don't think that's going to affect him very much because he has pretty active sparring when he's in, when he's in, you know, before.
And Wilder? Do you think there's a difference there? Do you think it will affect Wilder at all?
Ingram.
Yes. Are we breaking up again?
Ingram. Go ahead. What was the question you asked?
Let's try one more time. Is it? Let me see. Hold on. Yeah. So I was asking about Wilder and Fury, the layoff. Which one will be more of an advantage, Wilder or Fury?
I don't know. I don't know what their training camps was like. Any activity in the training camps, sparring. You know, when I'm working with VLAD SIRENKO, I'm always eager to get any sparring that I get. You know, even if it's us flying around the world to get it. You know, I mean, we'll go anywhere for some good sparring. You know, it keeps the guy from getting rusty. With sparring, it keeps the machinery oiled, reflexes, time, and all that stuff. Is getting good sparring 3, maybe 4. Then it's not gonna the time that off is not gonna affect him that much.
Do you think we should read anything into the reports about Gerald Anderson knocking Fury out in sparring?
Yeah, I heard something about it, but you know, like I said, in the sparring camp, you know what difference? You got headgears on, so it doesn't mean nothing.
Fury doesn't normally spar with headgear.
Fury doesn't spar the headgear?
Not usually, no. It's not. He's known to spar without headgear.
Well, good for him. I want my guys to spar with the headgear all of the time because when you trying to prove to me, I've been in this for 8-9 months. Depending on how deep and how big the cut is. But if the cut, you could be out 9 months, be out there.
Yeah, I understand that. I understand that.
It's not a good thing. I don't like it.
We talked briefly about the return. Go ahead, Uncle.
I've seen different fighters do that. They don't like the headgear. They'd rather spar.
Right.
I don't know.
You're not a fan of it. I understand.
I go to Yeah, no, I don't. You know, because I think that tomorrow anything can happen, and then we're stuck. You know, now we got to stay in camp an extra 3-4 weeks while the cut heals. So it don't even, it doesn't work like that. Sometimes, you know, you could be out a long time. The cut has to heal from not outside in, and that's where a lot of trainers make a mistake. They'll look at a surface cut and think, okay, the cut is healed. Cut actually heals from the inside out, not from the outside in.
Right. Okay. What do you make of Deontay talking about retirement and coming to the end of his career? He hasn't many fights left.
I don't like that talk. I don't like that kind of talk. He's talking the biggest fight of his career. You know, it's not a good omen. You know, it's not a good thing even to even allude to the fact I shouldn't talk like that. You know, it's a big fight.
He might just be disillusioned with the sport itself, and probably seen how nasty sport really is. He might be disillusioned with the sport and find out how nasty it really is.
I don't, but I do know that I would not have my boxer talking like that prior to a fight. What can I send the odds makers and the people who are
Oh, this is a good question Leigh's asking. He says, are there any disadvantages in trading an unusually tall heavyweight?
Are there disadvantages?
Are there any disadvantages by training extremely tall heavyweights?
It's a disadvantage for little heavyweights. Just to get hit by those heavyweights. But yeah, Tyson it's complicated to box Tyson because he's an awkward guy. Right, lefty, he's got a good jab. You know, all the weight that he's got in his body that's gonna make the left hand lethal when he throws it. So yeah.
Yes. Yes, true. Do you have any other thoughts as we get closer to this fight? Tomorrow is Thursday, Friday. Tomorrow's Friday, right? So tomorrow's weigh-in tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow's weigh-in.
Tomorrow's Friday.
Tomorrow's weigh-in. Do you have any thoughts? Do you think the weight's going to be a big? Do you think the weigh-in's going to be a big issue or not? This is heavyweights.
No, I think they're going to come through the fight, weigh in.
Do you think the weigh-in's
we've seen and heard it all by now. We've seen it and heard it all. Now we got all these guys who form, you know.
But if Fury weighs in close to 300 pounds, are you happy for that for him?
They got, but I wouldn't have had him do that. Mm-mm. I would have tried to aim. I would have tried to aim for 270, 265, somewhere around there.
Would that concern you and change your opinion of the fight if Fury came in at 290, 300 pounds?
No, I don't think opinion of the fight. I think that it's going to be a fight. I think that Tyson Fury is in the better position mentally because he won last fight. You know, I think he's in a better place mentally than Deontay. Deontay is adding on to the stress because he you know, if he puts him down, he won't get up. You know, this, that, and the other. So Deontay Wilder's got something to prove.
What do you make of Wilder talking about they've got plans in place for Tyson Fury with regards to the gloves and the water and all the rest of the cheating conspiracy.
I don't know. That's, you know.
You don't know.
I think that Deontay. No, I don't know. I think Deontay needs to leave that be. You know, I think he needs to leave that booth beating and fight.
Somebody commented, I think it was Ronnie Shields, who said that Wilder's spending too much energy on the whole retribution thing. He needs to let that go and just fight.
Again, that's a duty of the trainer to try on boxer going down to the final chapter to this fight. You know, that's when the trainer comes in and steadies the fighter and says, look, get on the task at hand. Leave everything else gone. You can talk about that later on, but not right now. We need to be prepared for this guy. That's what we need right
now. Tyson asked Wilder, if I cheated, then why have you made so many changes? Why didn't you just go? Why did you go and sack your trainer? Why have you made all these changes if I cheated?
What did Wilder say?
I don't think he responded to that. And then he asked, the next question was, which is the question I asked, why didn't you sack Jay Diaz? He was the one that watched me wrap my gloves. If you're saying I had something, if I had knuckle dusters in my gloves, then why didn't you sack Jay Diaz? What are your thoughts on that?
There was a little interruption. Say it again.
Yep. Jay Diaz. Tyson asked, why didn't you sack Jay Diaz to Deontay Wilder? Because he watched me wrap my hands. So you should have sacked him, but you've still kept him on board.
Yeah, it's a valid point. You know, it's a valid point. You know, as I said before, you don't really P's and Q's when you're going in to watch the wrapping of hands. You cannot make errors, mistakes. You know, I always pick up the gloves and I smell for any foreign substance. I check for moisture. Any sign that the wraps has been dampened and put on an air conditioner or a dryer and a radiator to see if it can dry it. So you check for foreign on the gauze itself. But you need to be on your P's and Q's when you're in there, because somebody's life is literally in your judgment, your assessment of what's going on in life makes all the difference, or could make all the difference in the fight.
Final question. Because Deontay Wilder sacked Mark Breland for stopping the fight, in his opinion, and didn't allow him to continue, does this put Malik Scott in a difficult position? Did you hear that, Uncle? Your volume's gone again. Volume. Uncle, your volume's gone. Hold on. Uncle Bashir's gone. I don't know what happened to him there. Uncle's gone. Seems that we've lost Uncle Bashir, but I don't know if we're going to wait for him to come back. I think he may have gone. He may have had to go to another place. Let's see. I'll just double check quickly before I end. He may have gone. No, it's back in. See, it's in, but there we go. He's in just. Might be connection from his end. Uncle, you there?
Yes, I am.
Final question. Your head is not in the camera. Oh, there we go. Great. Final question. Malik Scott, is he in an impossible position because Mark Breland got sacked for stopping the fight? If Deontay's getting hurt in the fight, what does Malik Scott do? That's his best friend, his buddy, his trainer. What does Malik Scott do in that situation if Wilder is being hurt?
I think that Malik Scott has to be himself. He's got to make his own judgment. In my mind, when a boxer accepts a guy to be his chief second in the corner, his chief trainer, then in doing so, he's saying, you make the judgment. I've stopped a number of fights in my life, in my career as a boxing trainer, and not always were the decision to stop fights accepted by the boxer, sometimes by the management too. But it's not the manager, it's not the boxer, it's me. I'm the chief second. I call the fights when I want to call them, and they have to accept it or reject it. I don't give a shit. I really don't care. I'm trying to watch out for the boxer's life. I don't want somebody.
Yeah, but that's what Breland did, and Breland got sacked for it.
Yeah. You know, well, it's just too bad. I mean, it's just too bad. You know, if you put me in charge, you put me in at the helm, in the leadership role in the corner, then I have to do what I have to do. I'm not going to stand there and let the guy get knocked into a coma. So I'm a firm believer that it's always better to stop a fight too soon as opposed to stopping it too late. You know, when a guy's in a coma, or a guy can't talk, or he can't communicate with his family, and they come in and say, "Oh, you know, you have to take your child off of life support because he's brain dead." I don't want that. I don't want that on my conscience. So I try to warn the guy. I try to let a guy know ahead of time. Say, "Look, you've got to do something to stay around. You've got to do something. You got to establish yourself. You got to go out here. You got to, you know, you got to do whatever you got to do. You got to establish yourself and get some authority on your punches, you know, and show this guy that you're in control, that you're the boss. And if you can't do that there, then guess what? I'm going to pull the plug on the fight."
That's a very tough decision Malik Scott's going to have to make. Very tough.
Well, I think that Malik Scott's got to be himself. He can't worry about what happened to Mark Breland, you know. It's a bit late in the day, you know. You're a couple of days away from the fight. And he cannot be concerned.
Would you have learned anything because he was in the corner the night of Fury Wilder 2 and Fury Wilder 1? Would you have learned anything from those two fights as a cornerman?
Well, I hope that he's not intimidated by Deontay Wilder's stance. As I said before, Malik Scott has to be Malik Scott. He can't think about what happened to Mark Breland. You know, he can't even go to that area. He's just got to be the chief second in the corner. I've got to do what I've got to do. If he sees the guy in trouble, you know, I would think that he would step in and stop the fight.
Okay.
And Jason Hill has to do the same thing. You want to save the fighter. at all costs, you want to save the fighter. If the fighter says, hey, I want to dismiss you because you shouldn't have did that there, then all right, all well and good. But at least he'll be able to make decisions on his own. He'll be able to talk, walk, think, and do everything on his own because you are the one that saved his life.
Okay.
The boxer can't see the damage that they're taking. Boxers is going to go out there and fight. That's their job. That's their spirit. You know, it's like somehow it's like a amusement to fighters. After 40 fights, Deontay Wilder is used to taking punches. He's used to being buzzed, being rocked. You know, and it's something like a game to them a lot of times. They want to continue on, but Malik Scott's got to be himself. You got to know when to hold him and know when to fold him.
Okay.
You can't go out there. You can't go out there trying to please the boxer.
Right.
You know, because the boxer's they're gonna fight. A lot of them gonna go out on their shield.
Yeah.
And they're not.
Absolutely.
When they say I want to go out on my shield, they're only thinking about themselves. They're not thinking about the other people in that corner that got to live with the casualty of you dying or you being brain dead.
Wow.
Yes, it's a serious thing. But Malik Scott's got to be himself. Javen Hill's got to be himself.
If you were going to title this video, what would you title it? What would be the title of this video?
Walking in a minefield.
Walking. Well, that's what Tyson Fury is going to be.
Walking in a minefield. Because if Tyson Fury lands on Deontay Wilder's temple, on his chin, Deontay's going to be in trouble because Tyson's got so much weight on him. And if he lands on that chin, he's going to hurt Deontay. And we already know what Deontay's going to do if he lands on Tyson's chin.
So walking in a minefield.
Walking in a minefield.
All right, Uncle. That's going to be the title of the show. Walking in a minefield. All right. So I guess we'll hear back from you again. Weigh-in. So you can tell us your thoughts at the weigh-in. Oh, by the way, they didn't face off. I thought I'd let you know.
They didn't?
No, Bob Arum pulled it. PBC wanted it. Bob Arum pulled it because there was no security. Surprise, surprise. I'm sure that would be ring a soft spot with yourself. There was no security.
Wow. How bad has things changed? You know, I mean, it was years ago. Guys could have go to a weigh-in, and both combatants would be there like gentlemen. You know, no huffing and puffing and biting and kicking and scratching. You know, they were gentlemen. You know, Jersey Joe Walcott, Everett Charles, and so on. You know, these guys were gentlemen. They'd go to weigh in, they'd shake hands, and that was it. Now these guys come in there and somebody got a knife and the other guy's got a can opener and they're ready to go at it, ready to weigh in.
You don't think it's you don't think it's got anything to do with roids, do you? And PEDs, because a lot more of these fighters are using PEDs, which means they would be more apt to be in roid rage.
I don't know. It's corny. The whole thing is corny, though. These guys get in at the weigh-in, punching each other. I'll tell you, but to stop it, if the commission just find them.
Yep.
If the commission finds you, the commission should tell them, say, anybody that throws a punch now, it's going to cost you X amount of dollars. It's going to cost you X amount of dollars from your purse, and I guarantee you it'll stop over that.
I think that's the reason why Bob. I think the reason Bob pulled it, the face-off, because he doesn't want to lose 160 million, because he wants Fury to fight, no exits. Fury must fight, or else he'll get sued 100+ million.
I'm waiting for this fight. I want to see this fight. I want to see this fight come off.
So do I, Uncle. So do I. We'll catch up and we'll talk tomorrow night after the weigh-in.
All right. What time? What don't you do? Call me when the weigh-ins come.
Call you when the weigh-in comes or after the weigh-in?
Call me prior to it coming when they give me maybe about a half hour before they start the weigh-in.
All right. Okay. And then what we're gonna do? Watch the weigh-in together?
Yeah.
All right. We'll watch the weigh-in together then.
Uh-huh.
Right,
if you call me prior to that day, then I can drive home and in the privacy of my own room, I can just go there and sit down and watch it, with no distractions. I'll close the door and everything to block me off in one room.
All right, and we'll watch the weigh-in together. That'll be fun. All right,
okay.
Uncle. See you tomorrow.
All right.
Take care. God
yes,
bless
sir.
you.
You too.
Okay, that was Uncle Bashir, and we will have James Alibish live prior to the weigh-in, and we'll watch the weigh-in together. So that should be quite fun for BWTM sports viewers and fans. Don't forget to check out also our new merchandise on BWTM online. We've got drinkware. Basically, we have I think we've got. Actually, I'll show you what it is before I go. Just before I go, I think I'll share it with you all. Shared it once already. I think I'll do it one more time for the night. If I can find it. I tell you what, no, I won't do that. Do this. Just go to the website and check out our check out online store. On that, check out our pint glasses, our sports cup, our tumbler, and our sports mug. Check that all out. Just put that in the chat section there. Here we go. Just go to that website, BWTMonline.com. Check that out. Also download the app so you can watch BWTM on the app, so you don't have to keep coming to YouTube. Everything's on the app for you, all in one place. Right, it's time for me to get the hell out of here and sort this sound out. This has been BWTM Sports Gaming, and I wish you a pleasant good night.